Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to share my review of Nobara Linux for gaming and content creation. Are you ready? Let's get into it. As always, we're going to start with a little bit of context. First things first, what is Nobara? Nobara is a distro based on Fedora. The creator of the project, named Glorious Eggroll, and I do believe he's not alone anymore, he has his own team because I've seen some of the creator of a certain application working on other projects like CachyOS. Now they are a full team and really they created this Fedora spin to simplify your life when it comes to installing Fedora. I don't know if any of you guys ever installed Fedora base, but you have a lot of tweak to be done before arriving at a spot which is enjoyable and optimized for gaming and content creation. And what Nobara does is literally giving you all the tools on a silver plate. You have nothing to do. So let me get a little bit deeper into that, but just again for context, I did test it. I think it was the first spin 3 years ago or 2 years and a half ago. And the first spin was based on GNOME. And it was not, on paper, it was fulfilling all the cases, but it was not that good. I want to be clear. It was kind of at the stage of a project where everything need to be polished and advanced, and it was kind of a rough place. And now the experience is totally different. So let's start with the beginning with the installation. The installation was flawless, guys. When I say flawless, it was awesome. I did a full stream of 2 hours in which I go from zero to hero, I would say, with Nobara. Install it, go through all the process of doing everything, test some games. So I'm going to put a link in the description below for you to watch it. The installation was flawless. So some detail during the installations that kind of marked me, if you decide to use your entire hard drive or SSD, Nobara is going to force a better FS. If you don't like this operating system, you're going to have to do it manually to install everything. To me, it was more than enough. I'm a big fan of better FS in general, but something to take in consideration. The second one was related to the little login automatically option, which was opt-in right off the bat. I don't know what it's opt-in and not opt-out during the installation. So I know I'm a little bit picky there, but you see, if you don't have the specific NVIDIA card, for example, that support Wayland, you have an old one, or you have some type of issue with your NVIDIA driver going toward Wayland, I will be scared about checking this option, because obviously at your first boot, you're going to be pushed toward Wayland. And it could be a big black screen for you, so make sure you uncheck this option. So when the install is done, you arrive on this wonderful theme. I say wonderful because obviously it's subjective, but it's a theme which kind of looks like Dracula with a different tone of purple and a lot of detail everywhere. I was really surprised to what he has become, because I knew it was the type of color that Nobara always has been into, and especially I guess Glorious Eggroll, kind of a Dracula approach. But what it became versus what it was before, a lot of improvement, in a 3 years span or 2 year and a half span. This is awesome to see the level of detail said. So obviously this is subjective, but it was really nice. And when you arrive at the first time on the desktop, right away you're gonna have a pop-out noticing that this is your first time running Nobara on your hard drive, and you're gonna have to make an upgrade. So you have this little application that's gonna pop up only once after you install, and put you through, making sure you have all the upgrade, making sure everything is okay. And I thought it was a little detail that I really kind of appreciate, because that you won't be doing a Linus tech tip type of, mistake and break the distro right off the bat. So I was pretty sweet. It's a nice attention, if you know what I mean. After installing everything and rebooting your system, you're going to go back and you're going to have this application called Nobara Welcome. And again, it's going to make you think about CachyOS, but this is the first iteration of it. And dude, this is pretty sweet. So obviously you have to update your system. Here you're going to have the latest NVIDIA driver available, which is awesome. So if you click on this launch option here, you're gonna have a pop-out in case like you don't have the latest version of the driver, but they are installed right off the box, or not really an issue. Then you can install like more application from the software center, which is a discovery approach here. And in case you just noticed, we are on KDE. You still have the option, I believe, to install it on GNOME, but Glorious Eggroll and his team decided to move their main desktop environment to KDE for obvious reasons. So I'm going to put a link in the description below if I found it. But the reason behind were really like the fact that there is more support for VRR, HDR, and everything related to KDE, and GNOME is a little bit behind towards that. It's a nice choice, at least for me, because GNOME has a really, really hard time with my multi-screen setup here. So if you have more than 3 screens, GNOME is definitely a no-go. And KDE, especially with the 6th version, is kind of like GNOMified now. So you won't be really like lost. Now, when it comes to the other addition here, you're gonna notice that after the update, you're gonna be running KDE 6. So this KDE 6 was available on the Nobara distro at the same time that it was pushed in the Arch testing repo. So you are not really far from the latest rolling edge packages when it comes to desktop environment. I was kind of surprised actually, but I do believe that Glorious Eggroll and his team are kind of like picking the one they want to push, like the package they want to push to the edge of the release. And for me, like I do believe this is good, because for all the users who wanted to test the version 6, well, they can on Nobara, which is awesome. It's still a little bit bugged, obviously, like if you start to tweak it, but overall, there is more positive than negative on this release, in my opinion. So another good point there for Nobara. Then, as I mentioned, like you know that this distro is oriented toward gaming and content creation. And right off the bat, you're going to see that by default, you're going to have Steam installed, but also Lutris, which is fine application there. But through the installation, you're going to have the opportunity to download OBS Studio or Discord right off the bat. What I do like with OBS Studio here is that it comes with all the nice plugin and option compiled in it. So you have everything. You have the browser source. You have NDI. You have game capture already working out of the box. Another one which is super cool is the fact that if you are a streamer and you want to make sure you have the right video encoder, the team of Nobara already worked on it. And here you can see you're going to have for AMD and Intel the VAAPI encoding system there, which I believe is better than the other one proposed. So you're going to have a better quality by using this one. And you're also going to have, obviously, like the NVENC. This, you're going to have it everywhere, but it is already tweaked for you. And this is a really nice, again, my opinion, really nice feature. In terms of like release, you are on the latest one there. And cherish on the cake, it's not the Flatpak version. So I know some of you guys love Flatpak, I don't. And the fact that it's not a Flatpak version, for me, it's a big plus. Because it kind of like make you the management overall of this application a little bit easier. It's not impossible on Flatpak, but it's easier, in my opinion, on native. So another good point there. To continue through the menu here, the Discord is a Flatpak version, which is fine. And here, another little gem here. So you can install ProtonG, obviously. You can install the Xon driver for the Xon and Xpad Neo driver. I think some of you guys are struggling with those ones. But you have also the install DaVinci Resolve fix up. So I made many videos about DaVinci Resolve and how to install it on various distros. But guess what? Here, you just click launch and it's going to install DaVinci Resolve. If you want to install DaVinci Resolve Pro, like the studio version, like the one I use, you just install it, you're downloading the run from their website, you execute it, and then you launch this fix-up. And this fix-up is going to create, I'm going to show you, a folder in your /opt called Nobara Resolve Runtime. And here it's going to put all the nice little libraries that kind of like block you to launch a DaVinci result out of the box. But also for the AMD user, you're going to have like Rock CM installed right off the bat with all the dependency, everything. I do believe it's supposed to be easy to install them through Fedora, but here is just a click. You have nothing to do. So to me, it's definitively a plus. Another software I want to share with you is the update from Nobara. So if you type Nobara here and you click on Nobara Package Manager, you're going to have a full package manager, which is pretty sweet. And then you're going to have an update manager dedicated to Nobara. And I think it's really cool. You click here, you press accept, and then it's going to start the whole full update. There is another feature here. I didn't really test it, but you have the host remote play here. So I do believe it's a way to share your screen to another host, like, you know, like another box somewhere, or maybe to play on your Steam Deck. And they have like created this little application there, or this shortcut that's going to launch Steam with the right option. I didn't try it, but I do believe also like it's a nice little feature, a nice little plus. Like everything is served to you on a silver plate. Again, that's what I like about this distro. Now let's talk about performance. So when you come to performance, this distro is one of the best performing distro out of the box. Let's be clear, you have nothing to do. The kernel is already optimized, I believe, with all the TKG patch. So you're going to be at the level of a custom kernel from TKG, you compile yourself, or a CachyOS type of kernel. Like you're going to be really like top of the line when you come to gaming. I don't want to get like, I don't want to get too deep into that because I made a lot of tests on my stream. So go there, watch the game I played. But I would say overall, this is bueno. This is really good. You have nothing to do. Everything is there. As I mentioned earlier, the latest drivers are already installed right off the bat for the NVIDIA user. I'm guessing it's going to be the same for Mesa and the user of AMD. You guys are good. You're going to be great. It's going to work. So this is also a big plus. So this distro is definitively one of the best distro I've used when it comes to gaming and content creation. However, it's not a perfect distro, and there is some negative I want to share with you guys. I want you to be aware of what type of like issue you might encounter and if they're going to impact you. So the first issue for me is the fact that it's based on Fedora. So I like Fedora, but I don't like using it on a daily basis for a simple reason. I can't stand the package manager. The package manager is really slow in my opinion. It's just too slow. So if you tested something like Arch and Pac-Man, everything goes like super fast. And sometimes it kind of frustrates me. So it's a little detail. I guess a lot of you don't even really care, okay? But for me, sometimes it's a problem. The second problem is related to the community of Fedora and the community repo. So I don't know if this is the right word, but on Arch, we have the AUR, which is awesome. It's one of the reasons I love Arch so much. There is all the script over there, and you can pick and choose and install whatever you want, right? The variety is insane. The website is working well. It's integrated within Pac-Man. Like it kind of gives you this experience, right? Here, you have to deal with the Copper, COPR. And dude, sometimes it can be a real pain. COPR is fun, but it's not the best. Okay, let's word it this way. I don't want to trash it, but to me, it's a problem. So, you know, you're on Fedora, sometimes you just have to download the application, the RPM, or the .run, and it might work right off the bat on Fedora because obviously it's Fedora. So you might be able to avoid the community repo. I will call it this way, like the community place where you download all your stuff. But man, like this sucks. Okay, let's see it this way. Like to me, it sucks. The other thing I noticed, and you will see it's really minor, is the way the NVIDIA driver are installed. Like they are installed really well, but you can tell like the attention to detail is not as high as a distro like CachyOS. I'm going to give you my example and I show it to you on stream, guys. There is different way to load the module for the NVIDIA driver. What I notice is that with my graphic card, series like 1490, if I wanted to activate some of the options within the module, I had to load those modules within the initram FS. I hope I'm pronouncing this well. And the way the modules are loaded in this distro are not through the initram FS. It's a different way. So, for example, on CachyOS, they were aware of the problem and they created a script that will make sure that your drivers are loaded through initram FS first. But here, it has not been done. So I did it manually. It's not a problem. It's not a game changer. But you see, some of you guys might install the distro with a series 40,000 and you might blame Nobara. And it's really an issue related to the way you load your module. And I believe like it's not fixed yet. So I'm going to go on their Discord and share my thoughts over there, see what they think. But I did it manually on my end. I added the right line on the module and etc. Like regenerate with Dracut, my initram FS, and everything was fine. But it's something I need to mention. It's little detail. Like guys, I'm really getting very picky to find something negative here. So bear with me, but you got the idea. And the last point I want to mention is related to the ultra customization of this distro. So let me explain that. This is a little example. It's really me being picky. But because all these packages, for example, OBS, has to be reworked in-house by the Nobara team, sometimes they might be a little bit behind in time, and you're gonna have a little error popping while you are upgrading your distro. So I had one there, okay? And it's not a game-breaking issue. It's really superficial, but I have to mention it to you to be super objective about my experience. And here you have like an issue with library and dependency. So it's not bad. OBS obviously is still working. Everything is working, but you can see here you will have like some error while you upgrade your packages. And I guess like if a beginner look at this, gonna be like, oh, did I break something? Did I do something wrong? And this is just the fact that the Nobara team didn't have the time to rework the whole like OBS studio package to make it like, you know, align with the new library. So there is nothing bad there, but I'm thinking on the long run, what it really means, it means that if the Nobara team, for whatever reason, they take a direction which is going to be really proper to their vision, it might impact you. So this is an example here, but I've heard like a lot of people were upset about the fact that the team pushed KDE 6 Plasma really early to their distro, because on paper, like Fedora is more like a stable distro. I guess they're gonna have like Plasma 6 in like 2 or 3 months from now. So it's like, you know, if you sign up for Nobara because you thought you will have like the Fedora stability, well, here you're gonna be out of luck. And this is just related to the vision and the, like we say, like work capacity of the team to, you know, solve all those issues. To me, it's a non-issue, but I want to share it with you guys because you might encounter them, you might be disappointed. To me, I rather have those type of issues, which are nothing, rather than to have like the Flatpak version of OBS, which is like a pain to set up. So that's just my 2 cents, but I had to be objective and share it with you guys. All right, this is it. So what do you think about Nobara, guys? For me, it's one of the best distro out there for gaming and content creation. So I know some of you are going to be like, yeah, but I can do the same with Fedora Base or Arch Pure or whatever. Yeah, that's right. But here you don't have to do it. You just put the key down there in your PC, you click on install, and everything is done. Like it's ready to go. And this, for me, is what I love discussing about those distros. Nobara is definitively a go. Obviously, I had to find something negative. That's why I made a negative part in this video. But those are the type of issue you could literally like pass on. I would say of all the Fedora-based distro I tried, this one will be my number one. If you are in love with Fedora and you want to use Fedora, go with it. Like, simple as that. There is obviously like some tweak you might have to do. Maybe some of the negative points I mentioned in this video are going to be like, you know, reported upstream, and the team of Nobara might be able to solve them. But I would say like it's such a good distro, guys. The work they have done for the last like 3 years is just awesome. Yes, so definitively for me, it's one of my top tier distro for gaming and content creation. And yeah, like, just go for it. Now, if you ask me if I would choose between this one or another like Arch-based distro, I think you already know the answer. But if you want the like stability of Fedora and not having to tweak anything, well, Nobara is the way to go. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to do what you have to do with a thumbs up, the subscription, and everything else. I see you in the next one. Bisous, bisous.